Hey guys, welcome back to GP's Academy. In our last video, we have seen what are the categories of data types that are built in and what are the different types of data types available. Just the names we have understood just as a reference. Now, in this video, we are going to, from here onwards, we will look into one by one data types. Okay. So, the first data type that we'll be looking into is numeric type category, that is nothing but integer, float and complex data types. So let's first go ahead and create a new file called as let's say numeric types or Python numbers, or numbers you can mention, or let me number it as a numeric type, numeric data type, or let's say simply type dot py, right? So here under numeric data type, what are the under numeric data type category, what are the data types that we have under numeric data type? First is integer, second is float, third is complex. Integer, float, complex numbers, all these three data types are considered under this category called as numeric data type category. Okay, let me quickly save it. Now let's go dig deeper and see with some examples. First thing is integer. So integer, for example, let's say this is a variable which I will assign a value of 2, or let's say a variable that I can assign any value of any number of digit, unlimited digit, number, unlimited digit, or even you can assign this variable as let's say negative 2500 as well. Even these three cases also we consider it as a integer data type, right? So, and because it is not a string, we are not using any double inverted commas, right? And so the condition here is its value is a number and it's either positive or negative and of any number of digits, right? So integer is nothing but a value of a number, either positive or negative, and of any number of digits can be assigned to a variable, and this will be considered as integer data type. Now, and how to verify? I just said it that this is considered as integer data type, but you don't have to go with my words, right? So I have told you in my earlier videos itself how to check which data type it is. What is the function that we use to check data type? This is type function we need to use to check the data type. So type, let's rename it to y and z so that we can clearly distinguish between these three. See, type x, type y, type z. So this function will tell us whether this is a integer data type or what exactly it is. So let me quickly run it. Okay, we got an error. What is the error? Why did we get an error? The error is here because we cannot simply use this function directly. So for that we need to print it out. Let's say we need to use one more argument. We need to use print function so that output can be displayed, and inside this print function we need to put this type. Okay, so let me quickly copy paste it, y and z. Perfect. So let me remove it. So what we are doing is we are using type function to check which is the exact data type, and we are using print function to display that value in our front end or in our output. Let me quickly save it, and now let's run the code. As you can see, as soon as we ran the code, we can see here the first argument here is first result output is it is integer, and it is integer. First type x is an integer, unlimited number, unlimited digits, y is also an integer, and lastly z is also an integer. Now This is clear for us. What exactly is integer? This is clear for us. Now let's look into the second data type, that is called as float. So float is nothing but either positive or negative value, but at least one decimal value in a number. Just for example, let's say x or dx. Okay, just a renaming for our easy purpose. So let's say dx equals to, this is a variable name, and what can be the variable? 2.3. dy is 100.78, and dz is, let's say, negative 9999.01. Okay, so here, as you can see, there is one decimal value, here is four decimal value, here is two decimal value, right? So this can be considered as float. So to confirm whether it is a float data type or not, we will use again what? Type function, in which we will pass the variable. This will tell us which data type it is, but it will understand, but it will not show it to us. So to show it to us, we need one more function called as print this whole results in the output. Save it. Let's run the code. First three are of this one, and since from the fourth print is a float, so let me quickly copy paste it, dx, dy and dz. Let's save it and run it again. Now if you see, integer, integer is nothing but these are the three integers, and from here onwards we got float. So that means that this is also a float example, this is also a float example, and negative value, this is also a float example, right? So I hope you understood what exactly is this float data type. Whenever you see something like this, and in case whenever you get confused of what exactly which data type it is, you don't have to judge it by just looking at it. You can simply make use of this type function and print function so as to get exact accurate data type value. And then finally, last but not least, we have one more data type called as complex data type under this numeric data types. So complex data types is nothing but imaginary value represented by, let's say, j. Generally, if you have done some maths or maths equations in the past, then you will know that we write complex equations, right? Mathematical equations, we use j or x or y, something like that, to represent an imaginary number before solving that particular problem, right? So in those kinds of data types are called as complex numbers. So here, let's say complex x equals to 25j, complex y equals to 30 plus 4j, right? So here, let's see what is the data type for these two. I don't have to just judge it by just looking over it. So let's ask Python which is the data type for these two examples. Just to reduce the confusion, let me quickly comment out these print outputs functions so it doesn't confuse you. All right, so let me save it now. So right now I need to check what is the data type, so I'll use print to print out the output. Inside print, what I need to pass? Type function. Inside parenthesis, I need to pass the variable name cx. Okay, so now I saved it. Now let's run the code. As you can see, the Python output is telling us that this value, this variable, is having a data type called as complex data type, right? Okay, if that is so, then what about the next variable, that is cy? Is it a complex variable? Let's save it. Let's have a look. Run the code. Yes, obviously this is also a complex data type, right? So these kinds of equations or numbers which has an imaginary part as well, those kinds of data that we save it in a variable is called as a complex data type, and this If we have decimals in our variables, then we call it as float data type. And if we have just a number, whole number, or negative or positive, that doesn't matter, then it is called as integer variable, integer data type, sorry, right? Now, so I guess you clearly understood what exactly is integer, what exactly is float, what exactly is the complex data types, right? With examples, and how to work with these things, how to perform certain actions, on all those things we will see in future in our further chapters. But now let's complete the data types. Let's explore all the data types one by one, and then we can go ahead and see how to process the data, right? So first we will understand the data type, and next we will get into a mode where we will be processing the data. So right now we are in the understanding data types mode, right? So first numeric data type is completed, and in our next video we will explore one more data type category. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. If you have any questions, let me know in the discussion forum, or you can ask through live chat support, or you can comment down in the description as well, right? So thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.